Alright YouTube, what is going on? It's ConflctNerd here today bringing you another episode of my Prison Architect series. So in today's episode we're about to go ahead and accept into some more guests, which is good. So as you can see, we are currently working on our cell block, our new cell block, which is going to house how many is it? 21 right now. It's going to start off by housing 21, and that's going to get us a very useful grant. So I need to touch on the issue of just thank you for all the wonderful feedback on the first or the latest 3 episodes. I record this series in like 2 or 3 episodes at a time. It's not like Transport Fever where I try to do only 2 or 1. I go ahead and bulk just because it's easier for me, just university blah 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 blah. So a lot of wonderful feedback has been, I guess, shared with me, which is going to start to be implemented from this episode. So yes, I'm working towards an armory, yes, I'm working towards K9 units, yes, I'm working towards educating prisoners because they can't use a knife until they go ahead and they can't work in the kitchen properly. I need to go ahead and start exporting stuff. I know I need to do a lot of stuff, and we'll get there. It's not as easy as just, going ahead and just build. So currently we're just waiting on essentially pipes coming in actually. If we jump into objects, we can go ahead and dismantle that door because you're not needed up there anymore. Then I also want to go ahead and put in, I know auto lighting is on, but there's some areas up the back here which are really dark, which I want to go ahead and sort out. So just adding 2 lights up there, and then that should solve that issue. And we also need to go ahead, it looks like, and build ourselves a concrete wall, not concrete floor, in that bit there, and that'll work out nicely. So we'll let our guys get on with that. We'll go ahead and speed things up, and I'm going to go ahead when we get the money in a second. I'm going to expand this whole admin building because I was looking at it during editing and it really needs a lot of work. It needs literally a whole extra row of offices and just in general things. I need to basically go ahead and have a larger storage area. That's the bottom line. So along with that, we're going to get more prisoners in. I need to work on expanding the canteen, I think. I need to do quite a few different things. I just need the money for that. So what are we? Cell block B right now is something which I'm going to make sure is in progress because we're about to get this one. So this is going to give me quite a bit of money. We got 10k from it. We'll get another 10k for completing it as well, I think. Or maybe 20k. Actually, no, yeah, 20k completionist bonus, which will be good to see. So in general, everything's actually moving quite smoothly. I'm quite happy with how everything is doing. We're slowly starting off now, going ahead and breaking down our regime. We're getting prisoners into work, which is good. We've got a classroom, which is also very handy. If we go ahead and look at our... So we've got this program here. So it's basically a starting program, which is going to go ahead and allow me to start off as well, which we're going to start off our next one, which is the kitchen safety and hygiene. We've also got a grant waiting on just educating our prisoners, which is something which is very good. And with that, I just need to go ahead and turn my attention to the prisoners' needs. So freedom is something which some of them are complaining about, but that's not too big an issue. I mean, things are in general actually moving quite smoothly. I mean, I really cannot complain at all. I think I just need to work on building more and just expanding the facilities of the general prison. For that, I also need money though. So we're just about ready to go ahead, and I'm still waiting on, or I maybe haven't actually put in the piping yet. So my workers have been doing a really good job, hard at work. I'm going to make quite a few modifications actually, just to a lot of different buildings, because I've had so many more different ideas and also just that suggested input. So you guys are just a little bit short of the piping network, and I also need to go ahead and add in an extra pipe up there, and that will work out fine there. Then we need to go ahead and... the showers do have water, so they're good. So literally just tiny wee sections of piping. Along with that, I think we need to go ahead and add in some more lights into our yard as well. The yard's going to get extended, and essentially I want to go ahead and actually have it as a prison block A and a prison block B and have them treated separately, because I don't really want the people inside them to mix, because essentially there's no needs. And if we can, I want to go ahead and start to distribute some prisoners to one block and some prisoners to another. So right now, looking at our intake, we can see that it looks like we've got 2 more coming in, because I think we only have 28 prisoners in here right now anyway, so guessing prisoners either got released or transferred. Right now it's majority normal risk, 2 high risk, and we've also got some low risk in there as well. If we jump back in here to intake, then Maximum security is closed, that's the thing, but it's been very strange, so I don't know why we actually get them there. I'm a little bit confused on that aspect, to be fair, but it's something which we need to go ahead and continue to work towards. So I've let the game just continue to build because we're just about ready to go ahead and accept more cellmates. However, I'm going to use this as an opportunity, as I said, to go ahead and just split everything up. So right now we have, as I said, we talked about the mixture of cellmates. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mixture of different things. So right now our largest groups, quote unquote, is our normal risk, which is going to basically get its own block. Then we're going to leave the low risk and the high risk together temporarily. However, we're going to make a smaller block along here eventually for the high risk. They're also going to be segregated, and at the same time, even though high risk and low risk, I don't know why I'm jumping around all over the place in the background, ignore that, but essentially they have different regimes anyway, so they're really not going to interact at all. So we can do this by going ahead and jumping in here to deployment, and this is going to be the medium quote unquote section only, and this is all going to be just medium cells. Now this only works if you have enough cells, and right now we do have, what is going on? Very, very strange. It looked quite strange there. It's just because this cell's a wee bit wider and this cell's a wee bit thinner, and it doesn't show up very well, I guess you could say, on this map. But what it's going to be is that medium or normal risk, quote unquote, are going to move into this cell block over here. And right now we can do that because we have 3 cells, and then over at this other side then we're going to have basically essentially the opposite, high risk and low risk. Quite easy to go ahead and do, and I mean it's not going to cause us a problem at all. So we can go ahead and actually make that whole block essentially low risk, which is good. Then we'll go ahead and do, and I think for the time being, if I can go ahead and I can't actually do that whole block, so what I'll have to do is I'm gonna have to mix it a little bit up differently, but we'll just change it as we go along. So we can now go ahead, once we've done that, I don't know why it's taken so long for water to get connected up here. It's because you're missing a connection, so if we can get someone to very, very quickly go ahead and do that. Now we can actually go ahead and define rooms, grab ourselves cells, and then go ahead and put some more cells in there, put some more cells in there, and then also turn this into a cell. I realise I need to go ahead and put in some objects. So a lot of these prisoners which currently used to live in this cell block are now moving into this cell block because of the risk is a little bit different. So you guys go ahead and choose your cells if you want to. And we're also going to be getting a higher prisoner intake as well, so more prisoners should be turning up very, very shortly. We're also up to 43,000, we just got that loan in, and our daily cash flow is also increased dramatically, which is something which I'm very happy to see. That is something which was dropped down to about 1,000 really. The reason for that was just because that we'd spent a lot on, I guess, building for the future, and it's something which is it's taken a little bit of time. So they have not accessible to canteen from this cell. How? What is the complaint here? So there are no canteens accessible by this cell. Prisoners in the cell will have nowhere to eat. Okay, so you guys are the quote-unquote maximum security guys. And that I could see being an issue actually. But I don't really know how to solve that, because it's a very strange one, that one actually. How can you guys not... I think I maybe need to go ahead and get myself more guards, because there seems to be a bit of an issue there. There's way too many guards over here right now. All the guards have just ran into here. Ah, I know why. It's because we're bringing in... the new prisoners are already arriving in, actually. I need to go ahead and just extend the whole prison, honestly. We do need to deal with this issue here, though, so I think I need to jump out of deployment, and I need to just go ahead and turn these into shareds. Turn that block into shareds. Mainly for the time being, because that is how it'll have to work out. We've already got someone unconscious, which is not good, so this is what happens when you lack security guards, and this is why we need to go ahead and make a few changes. So the first change we're going to make is, now we have money, is we're going to go ahead and expand the perimeter fences, and this is something which has been required for a while. So it's not a perimeter wall, it's something which I don't really feel right now. Perimeter wall, it's not causing me too much of an issue. I want to go ahead and just basically deploy the fence just an extra 2 back along the top here, and the reason for that is because we're going to add in extra rows of cells into the cell blocks. So that's going to happen eventually. I'm not in any rush to see that happen though. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to extend the whole larger perimeter actually, so I have access to this whole map here overall. So this is going to take a while, but it's something which I now have proper access to the whole map, and I can go ahead and get stuff working more efficiently. We can see here there is a class going on, which is good, so I wonder what again, you can't get too much information unfortunately at the teacher, but that could be one of our 2 courses which are running right now. Along with that, everyone's actually quite happy. We've got 50 out of 52 prisoners right now in our prison. I need to extend this admin building though, and that's one of the things that we're going to do. I also need to go ahead and extend the yard right now as well. So if we jump into here, we grab ourselves the yards, then we're going to go ahead and add in a new yard over here, and this is basically the yard for the other wing essentially, and I'm going to go ahead and should I split them up? I don't really know if I should split them up or not, to be honest. I don't think there is really any obvious reasons for right now why I should do that. However, I just need to make sure I've got enough facilities to make sure that we can cope with everything right now. We really can. I need to check my new prison intake because things might have changed quite a bit. So if we look at prisoners, we're up to 3 maximum security. And I think I do need to go ahead and also add in more solitary confinement, because when there's fights we also are lacking in that department as well. So we can already see the workers down the bottom here extending the perimeter, which is good. They've already done it along the top, which is great to see. So that's just part of long-term building. It's not really, it doesn't really matter short-term. What we are going to do is get you guys to go ahead, and this whole area is secured actually, so I can go ahead and knock down this fence here. So if we go ahead and demolish walls, we're going to go ahead and demolish you. Everyone's still protected in width because of this small fence here, which is good. Along the bottom, I'm definitely going to have to go ahead and add in more janitors and also more guards. Guards is maybe not an issue actually. I do need to go ahead and jump into deployment and put 2 more guards in here. 2 guards in every cell block, I think that's really essential. We need to put in this larger yard area here, I think we need 2 guards as well. We've got 1 in visitation, I think 1 in canteen as well. So that means that in general we just don't have as much free guards as we once did. So we'll go ahead and add in another 1 for sakes anyway. I think that's a good idea. We've also got someone patrolling routes as well. So in a sense, yeah, there's quite a lot of guards. I'm gonna buy myself 3 more guards. I don't want to go ahead and affect my daily cash flow too much, but it's something which I think we need to do. Also gonna hire 2 more janitors because the prison isn't as pretty as it once was, and also I believe that the amount of washing, for example, all this stuff is gonna go up in general, so it's something which we need to deal with. So with that done, let's turn my attention to extending this admin building. So this fence here is getting removed, and as we can see, the whole wider fence now is working out quite nicely. Maybe some more gardeners as well actually. That's something which I could go ahead and do with, because I need to make sure that my everything's just doing well. Like for example the fences, I don't want moss growing on it because it could go ahead and just increase possibilities of, you know, prisoners escaping and all that sorts. Anyway, so concrete, we're going to go ahead and extend this building by quite a large bit actually, it's really needed. We can go ahead and add in some of the facilities and also just rearrange this room because right now it's kind of looking hideous. I also want to essentially remove solitary confinement from there. I want to make that another storage room, and we're going to move solitary confinement down to in this bottom part of the admin building. Now, someone suggested that I should go ahead and connect up everything and make it one large building. That's not a bad idea, and something that I'm probably going to work towards slowly but surely. And we'll just have essentially, the yards like surrounded basically, so I guess the walls would be like the fences to the yards. That's really what's going to happen. So we are having a bit of an issue here with well, it's not bad, the showers actually, but yeah, there's a little bit of fighting, a little bit of, you know, hoo-ha, which is not good. So the medics are both busy. I think 2 is fine for the time being actually, but things are just a little bit messy. Solitary confinement's also a real long walk, so it's something which needs to get sorted out quite promptly. So this area has been extended, which is good. I want to go ahead and start to move solitary confinement, so that is one of the first things that I'm going to do. So we're going to start off here by just updating the electricity. Now someone said if I go ahead and there's like a pattern, like if I go ahead and lay out my electricity and water pipes so many tiles apart, then it's going to be absolute perfect and there's no waste. I'm not worried about the tiny amounts of waste. I mean, I'm allowed to waste a little bit here or there, to be honest. It's not going to be the quote-unquote end of the world if I don't go ahead or if I deploy too much pipe. Everything will be fine. So what we need to do is move solitary confinement into here. Now solitary confinement, it really doesn't have a lot of requirements actually. Solitary, we're going to go ahead and put in a lot of solitary cells actually here. So solitary confinement, an isolated form of imprisonment for the worst, so it's an enclosed area surrounded by walls and doors. So that's very easy. All you have is a toilet. You don't even have a bed, which I really don't fancy that at all, but that's something which we're going to go ahead and implement here. So this office here, whoever's office it is, it's going to actually get removed, and then what's going to happen is their office is going to get put into a new section over here. Essentially this is going to be an interesting section. So this is where the wall's going to be, and then there's going to be a larger wall behind it, and then this is literally just going to be filled up of individual solitary cells. So in here we're going to get, what, 6 solitary cells all in all, and that is going to be where the solitary is. Then, so on the left side, this office, and this is just going to be a large open hall. Then there's going to be more offices around here, and also another storage room on top of the current storage room that's already here. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line along here, then we're going to, yeah, that works out for the time being. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add in 2 or 3 offices here. So there's not going to be too many offices here, but there's going to be, offices require 4x4 if I'm correct. So that is 4x4. That will be 4x4, so that'll work out. It's 2 offices there. Right now, we've already have a spare office up here anyway. There's a spare office, so that's totally fine. But I think it's just good to continue to have them. Then what we'll do is we'll have a large storage room in here, which will work out totally fine. So you guys are also stuck, which is not good. So I need to go ahead and, let me think about this. We need to jump in here. We need to start clearing that wall there. We need to start clearing that wall there. So that's going to work out. Your office is going to get removed, I'm afraid, mate. So we'll very quickly do that. So we need to go ahead and jump into our rooms, and we just need to de-room actually, essentially. So you go ahead and get yourself a new office. I'm assuming you're going to move up to, yeah, Chief's office. So you've moved up there, which is good. And everything is slowly but surely working out nicely here. So the next thing I need to do is jump back into objects. We need to start to dismantle some of these objects because they're kind of a little bit out of place now, which is kind of funny. Now, I think I might work on the shape of the cleaning cupboard as well, because now we have a little bit more room. We can go ahead and we can make quite a few changes actually, which is good. Definitely something which is needed. I just don't like the shape of this building. That's the problem. I really don't. So the next thing we need to turn our attention to is what's going along here. So we need to rotate these. We need to start to build the office. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just making sure I got my parameters correct there. My current storage room was extremely small. You need essentially just a staff door. You don't really need a jail door, I don't think. So that'll work out fine there. I guess there's an extra bit of corridor there unnecessarily, but it'll work out long term, do not worry. And we need to go ahead and just build the solitary cells now. So let's go ahead and put in these solitary doors. So that is all of you guys in there. Then along with that, you guys just need a toilet, and then we're pretty good to go. So that's just doubling our solitary confinement capacity, which is good. And we also have the possibility of going ahead and adding in even more over to this left side as well. This corridor area is extremely large, so, and that's good because that's allowing me to go ahead and essentially just build for the future. I think it's also better access here as well. Long term it is going to be much better access. So if we go ahead and jump back into utilities, we grab ourselves small pipes, we build a pipe which comes right up here, and then you're just essentially going to connect directly into the mains itself. So that works out quite nicely there. What I'm going to do is go ahead and move your office door around a little bit. So your office is going to be there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and materials, and then a concrete wall, and we're going to add in a concrete wall along there. And that just basically means that we can go ahead and you're not going to be a reception anymore. The cleaning room is sort of just annoying me, the shape it is. It shouldn't be like that, and I like to go ahead and restore the former electricity and water room to its former glory. And we've got 31,000 right now, so all this little stuff which is annoying me I'm going to go ahead and deal with. So we're going to go ahead and demolish that wall there. We're then going to jump into objects. We're going to dismantle that object there. We're then going to dismantle that object there. We're then going to go ahead and start to jump into rooms. We're going to de-zone you there. All of that there actually, because you're all about to get changed. Then what we're going to do is we're going to let me think about this room. So I'm looking for a cleaning cupboard, which is this one here. Surprisingly, I found it that quickly. You're only going to be a 4x3, which that works out totally fine. Then you need to go ahead and we need objects. We just need a standard door, which can go there. We then need to go ahead and jump back into walls. We need to patch that bit up, patch that bit up. We need to build a wall up to there. Then we need to go ahead and demolish the walls and demolish you, and that should work out totally fine. So that's just small altercation, but I think it's going to work out better long term. Just the flow of this whole area looks so much better. And there we go, that's that room back to its former glory. We've also got the new solitary confinement cells pretty much good to go. I just need to go ahead and actually define these now. So solitary 1, 2, that's surrounded and that works out fine. So I'll very quickly just add you guys in. So that's us up to currently 9, but we're going to go ahead and dezone this bit here because this is going to get merged into part of the larger prison. So we're going to go ahead and delete you. Then we need to go ahead and essentially just delete this whole bulldoze, this whole building. Then it's going to get redone in concrete. So that's going to take a little bit of time to happen. Visitation, how's visitation doing? Doing quite well, it looks like actually. It looks like there's a family member, the lawyer actually. You do look quite fancy to be fair, I'll give you that. So that is still doing well, I'm glad to see it. And yeah, we're doing well on money. Guards, a little bit of a shortage there. Also laundry still getting stored in the foyer, which is, or the reception, whatever you want to call it, which is a bit strange. So I'm still not the biggest fan of that, to be fair. We do need to go ahead though and make a few modifications to the solitary confinement area. So we need to go ahead and de-reception that area. Then I need to go ahead and build a concrete wall all along there. Then I just want to add in an extra jail door, just so people can't get out of solitary confinement unnecessarily. So that's going to work out there fine, and solitary is pretty good to go. So how are we doing? The metal detectors are, and in general the yard, it's just not working out the best, is it? It's really not. I think we need to work on regimes again then. So we jump in here to regimes. Then what is the time right now? Because it's just a bit of a conflict. So 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, you guys have got yard at the same time, so I might switch your yard and eating times up because you guys are squaring up to each other unnecessarily. I think I also need to add in more phone booths and also lifting benches. We've got a lot to do, so we're going to continue on that. In general, the prisoners are relatively happy though, which is good to see. So now we need to go ahead and change defining all this area. So we're going to go ahead and first of all build a concrete area here. So this is all going to get concreteized, I guess you could say, and we will leave that small section there for the time being. So that's going to get to work. You guys should be able to go through that door and that'll be fine. Then we need to go ahead and I want to demolish that small bit there because that's pissing me off. I then want to go ahead and demolish that bit there as well. We're then going to go ahead and jump into rooms. We're going to de-zone. Why is there a prisoner in the staff room? You have your own common room, guys, so use it, please. Very strange. We're going to de-zone all that, and we're going to go ahead and jump in and add in a storage room, SD Orage, and that'll work like that. So that is an extremely large storage room, quite close to the entrance as well, which is good. And now we need to go ahead, and this holding cell, which still hasn't been used to this day, is not functioning anymore just because I need to add in a wall along there. We need to add in a wall along there, and then also a wall along there, and that works out fine. Yeah, that works out totally fine. We just need to go ahead and remove ourselves. Actually, hold up. So, do I want a jail door there? I probably do. Actually, no, we've got plenty of jail doors. I think we just need a standard door to just go ahead and enter into storage, to be fair. So, we'll add a standard door in there. Then I don't think I need a door up the top. So we can go ahead and jump in here, dismantle you. And to make sure that prisoners don't walk essentially around the metal detectors, which is something they could do, I need to go ahead and add in a small wall there, and that should solve that issue totally. So we've also got another large room here, so 2 large storage rooms now going forward, which is much better, and that means that we can go ahead and deal with storage so much better. I also need to go ahead and define these offices at the bottom very quickly. Again, I don't have any need for them right now, but going forward we might do. I also need to add in a security area eventually, so this building might get expanded even more, but in general the shape of it is just so much better. So let's go ahead and very quickly just chuck in the stuff which I need to have for offices. So I need an office desk, which is something which, again, I'm getting my rotation wrong, and I know I got my rotation wrong recently in a something. Someone commented saying I got my rotation wrong on something. I think it was to do with TVs actually, so I'll go ahead and look at that. Stuff you just remember halfway through when you're actually on the topic is something which is something that I find often happens with me. So this storage room is getting used, which is good. I just don't want all this junk in the staff room. I think, oh, it's not because you had a staff room, you got overwrote as a storage room. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So if we type in, yeah, we don't have a staff room right now, because I must have overwrote that as a storage room. I was very confused at that, but now at least that issue's resolved, and yeah, everything's working smooth. That maybe shouldn't be a jail door, to be fair, actually, because no prisoner's going to be through here anyway, so do I even need a door there? I don't think I do. I think I need to go ahead and just make a small modification. So the staff room, I don't need 3 doors there, that's the bottom line, so we're going to go ahead and demolish that wall. We're going to go ahead and having 3 doors just makes things unnecessarily complicated. Like 2 doors works out fine. So we're going to go ahead and make quite a few changes here. So we're going to go ahead and move the jail door up further up the corridor beside the reception. Then we're going to dismantle you, and then dismantle you. And that works out much better, I think. I think the corridor here, ooh, hoo-hoo. Yeah, shit, things are going down up here, boys. Things are going down. Not good at all. So this is... How are we doing here? So this is the great cell block. This is all just low risk prisoners, which is doing quite well. Someone needs a top. Who are you? You got a top on now. So in general, things are going quite well. I mean, with this cell block, I really just need to go ahead and define myself a... And it's actually one of the maximum security prisoners that died. So I do need to go ahead and just work on that a little bit. I'm starting to get some danger issues now, which isn't good. I still need to work towards other stuff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the game. Now I've done a lot of my building stuff actually, which I'm really happy with. We have spent quite a bit of money, but that just is so much better. So we've also got a staff room back as well, so that should make my staff a little bit happier. We can turn our attentions back round now to something else. So right now, if normal and maximum security is sharing, then you guys need to go ahead and have alternate shower times from the normal security. So we'll do that around. Then your whole day is separate, and your lockup times are also different, so that works out fine. I need to go ahead and just turn over my eating schedules, so we'll go ahead and move the normal security eating to there. We'll then go ahead and add in lockup, or we'll add in yard time. Oh no. So this is the new modified timetable which I've come up with, which I don't know if I like, but I mean it works. People are basically just not doing, or the different security levels are not doing the same things with other security levels at certain times. I think that was one of the reasons which the death got caused. I think it's more to do with probably just not having enough guards maybe in the cell block as well, but this is something which is going to go ahead and change things a little bit up. So free time, there is one free time maximum security and minimum security they share, but something which I'm really not that so worried or scared about, to be fair. So before I wrap up this episode, we just need to go ahead and make 1 or 2 slight changes. So first of all, yard. The yard area, I mean, you're just going to merge into one there. The next thing I need to do is go ahead and add in some more objects into this yard area. So the common room's getting used, which is good. That is the purpose of the common room. So we're going to go ahead and add in some more phone booths, something which has been required for a while, to be fair, and also just some more lifting benches, or weight benches, I guess you could say. This is just like common yard stuff which you'd find in a prison, and I'm pretty happy with that, to be fair, actually. Not really at all sure if I want to actually separate it, because there's no essential need, because everyone has different prison things at different times, so it works out fine there. The facilities here are working out totally good, so I'm happy with how that is functioning. I do want to go ahead and modify our entrance area though, actually, and that's something which I'm going to work on now, before I wrap up this episode. So I just want to go ahead and extend it a little bit, not too dramatically anyway, but if we go ahead, jump in here to fences, we'll then go ahead and extend you up, basically about 10 meters, maybe, actually we'll go more, we'll go up to about 20 here. It's because I want to maybe have a separate entrance to the visitation area, just because there is no point in having, I guess, people coming through here if they don't have to. They can just turn up out here. That's something which I want to go for long term. So that's what we'll do. So we'll go ahead and add in a gate there, and then we'll add in another gate just after that, and then we'll go ahead and make this area a little bit more open plan. Then we're going to have a new cutoff there. Then we're going to go ahead and start to dismantle some more fences. So you workers are going to be extremely busy. I realise a lot of these areas you don't really have access to right now, so don't really know how you're going to dismantle this fence, to be fair, but yeah, there's actually a worker up here which is trapped, which never realised he was, so that's going to happen though. All my guards are busy right now, which isn't good. That is also something which annoys me actually. Planning, just take that out there. That just makes things look a little neater, so that's going to get happened. If that makes any sense, that's going to get happened in the next episode, so hope you have enjoyed this episode. There is some issues going on here with the detectors, which the detectors work great. They do a really good job actually. Really happy with how things are working out, and the prison in general is actually working out really well. A lot of things which for me a first timer I'm struggling with, and I think I'm getting around them okay in general though. Again, if you want to see anything built in the series, I am working towards a lot of stuff like an armory and all that sort of thing, but we will get there, just give it time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode of Prison Architect. Please leave a like, rating, subscribe if you are new around here. Click on some of the links to some other videos which you may have missed. And that is all for this video, so thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.